Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. Special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. A reminder as well, you can watch TVJ live by downloading our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1, followed by the word spot and media. We begin with the first images of the devastation left by the heavy rains in the Clarendon community of Frankfield. Our news team was finally able to get into the section of the community which is considered the worst affected area in the parish. Sections of the community are still inaccessible. Residents are without electricity and there is a great need for emergency supplies. Krista Campbell has the highlights.
Our news team didn't get far into Frankfield before the first picture of disaster. It was washed away in the raging flood waters. Field Division and Deputy Mayor of Maypen, Clive Mundell,
look how this bridge was constructed. You can see 3 bolts on one side and 3 bolts on the other side. I don't think 3 bolts is enough to hold a bridge. And as you can see, that was just a waste of taxpayer money. And whenever we are doing something, I think we should put every effort in it to make sure that we do it the correct way. And if this bridge has done the correct way, it would have been here today.
Much of the area has been without power since the heavy rains on Monday night. The reason is clear. It's a dangerous task trying to get around, or in this case, through the downed power lines. Up at the Green River Bridge,
the surface, the road is gone, the grind is gone. And if you look calm up there, where you see all those bamboos, you can tell that is Cupid's Road, which leads to Cupid's and Park Hall, big district. And as you can see, nobody can go in. If you look to my right, you'll see that container over there at the roadside. It was right over here. So the water was so powerful that it came up and took the container from where it was here to over there. So you can look and you can see it's going to need a lot of resources to build back this road right here. And it's going to take a long time before vehicular traffic can go from Maypen all the way through Frankfield as they used to travel. Because this part of the road is like devastated and it's cut off from the total community.
The rains still falling. Our news team had to leave the area.
We are still having heavy rain, so as you can see, we are not out of the woods as yet. So we are just hoping and praying to God that there are no further damages until these damages can rectify.
The councillor says a relief agency sent water into the area on Wednesday, but much more help is needed.
Any assistance of food kind, clothing, mattress, anything at all, the residents, they will well appreciate it, especially the Southwood community, because I mean a lot of them over there got washed out.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Thanks, Krista. And the Meteorological Service has extended the flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of all parishes, effective until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The trough is expected to remain in the vicinity of Jamaica into the weekend and will continue to influence weather conditions across the island. Satellite imagery and radar reports indicate that light to moderate showers affected sections of southern parishes during the night into this morning. Projections are for showers and thunderstorms, which may be heavy at times, to continue affecting sections of most parishes. Flash flooding is therefore still possible over some low-lying and flood-prone areas of Jamaica. Jamaican reggae artist Frankie Paul has died. The singer passed away Thursday night at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where he has been a patient since April of this year. He was 52 years old. According to his sister, Trish Clark, he died shortly after 10 p.m. Paul had been suffering from kidney problems and was on dialysis 2 days per week. Almost 100 persons have died in St. James since the start of the year. That's according to Operation Officer for the St. James Division, Deputy Superintendent Gary McKenzie, who said the police are working to reduce the number of shootings in the parish. We have more from Simone Golding.
To clamp down on illegal activities, one of the major concerns is crime and the number of shootings and homicides.
We have issues with gang-related shootings and killings. And what is the reason for all of this is the fact that most of these persons, they know each other. They grow with each other. They live with each other. They become irritated with each other over illegal activities.
Operation Officer for the St. James Division, Deputy Superintendent Gary Mackenzie, says currently there are a number of young persons that make up gangs causing havoc in the parish.
We have about 4 or 5 gangs that have been giving us some very serious challenges. They will not win. They will not win. We have interviewed a number of suspects. We have some in custody, and we continue to pursue others. And we will do all that is required and what the law allows us to do to get this situation under control.
He added that there are more than 20 gangs in the parish, and most of the gang violence is as a result of illegal activities such as scamming and gun running.
As the police, we have to ensure that we get among them, we get the guns and ammunition, we arrest persons who are committing these crimes, and we try to get to them to ensure that they change their lives in terms of how they operate.
He added that the police are working with the Peace Management Initiative and they are seeking assistance from corporate entities to get youths out of the clutches of gangs and into jobs.
We want them to get skilled training, but for the time being, what we have that is occurring is criminality, where persons are really shooting at each other and many persons have died. And we continue to be very concerned about this. But we will not sit down because we have to carry out our responsibilities, which is to get the perpetrators of these crimes, arrest them, and we intend to do so in a very detailed, in a very forceful manner as well.
Simone Golding reporting for TVJ News.
The Jamaica Public Service, JPS, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force have partnered in an effort to clamp down on electricity theft in Mount Salem, St. James. JPS Field Service Technician for Bogue, Rainford Russell, says a number of illegal wires were removed, tampered meters confiscated, and 1 person arrested. He noted that many of the persons who steal electricity can afford to pay, but are reluctant to do the right thing.
Remove over 20 tropes amounting to 50 amp. 50 amp, and I must say the operation today, joint operation with the police JPS personnel was a success. I just want them to know that the police and the JPS personnel will be going out there, will be looking for these things, and persons will be brought to justice.
Operations Officer for the St. James Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Gary Mackenzie, says the police will continue this operation in other communities across the parish.
We have support from the military. We have support from other sectors to include, the JPS. We will be carrying on board other entities such as the National Water Commission and the health authorities, because we believe that we must impact all the communities in such a way where we rid it of all the things that are illegal.
Work is underway to complete the much-anticipated Aki Village attraction in Portmore St. Catherine, despite damage to some of the shops during the recent heavy rains. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie toured the facility on Thursday with Portmore Mayor Leon Thomas and other members of the Municipal Corporation. Krista Campbell has this update.
Portmore Mayor Leon Thomas says damage from the heavy rains has set back plans to have the Aki Village opened on June 1. But at Thursday's tour, he reiterated that work is continuing to finish the facility as well as repair what damage the rains caused.
If you notice, we have men painting the chaos at this time. Priming out the chaos. These are not going to be the official colors that they are going to be in, so they are doing some priming inside of the chaos because the rain continue. However, based on the rain that we experienced the last time, we are going to also have to create a berm to divert the water from off the project. The minister visited today, and the visitation is making some commitment to us for phase 2 and phase 3 of the project, and also to complete phase 1.
Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie commended the initiative as part of his push for municipal corporations to find ways to make their own revenue and not depend solely on his ministry for financial support. He wants other corporations to follow suit.
There are thousands of acres of prime commercial and residential properties across the country that is owned by municipal corporations that is sitting idly. Okay? And Portmore has gone a far way in trying to do something to utilize what they have.
As for the physical layout of the Aki village,
it will offer much more spacious and convenient facilities for the vendors. The facility is equipped with bathrooms, with sanitary facilities for both male and female. And one of the things I'm impressed about is that they have made provisions in the sanitary facility to facilitate those who are physically challenged.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Time now for our Fact or Fiction feature. Fact or Fiction: the area on which the National Heroes Park now stands was once known as the Kingston Racecourse. And we'll tell you the answer at the end of the sports segment of the newscast. In international news, a man is now in police custody after New York authorities say his car hit nearly 24 pedestrians in Times Square. Formal charges against Richard Rojas were announced yesterday. Police say the 26-year-old was behind the wheel of the car that struck 23 pedestrians yesterday morning. Police say Rojas was driving at a high rate of speed at the time. 22 victims were taken to the hospital with multiple injuries. Rojas was taken into custody at the scene. The 26-year-old has been charged with murder, 20 counts of attempted murder, and 5 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide. And we go now to sports. Head coach of Jamaica's Sunshine Girls, Jermaine Allison McCrannan, has admitted she doesn't know much about the number 12 ranked Barbados team.
I have done no homework on Barbados. It's very difficult to get information about them, but I've done my homework on the girls. We have a really good selection. I have options for playing, and over these next 3 test games, I'm sure my girls are going to bring it.
That's Alice McCracken, and the Sunshine Girls will take on the Caribbean rivals at 7 p.m. this evening. And we continue with more sports as former world 100-meter record holder Asafa Powell has pulled out of Saturday's 14th staging of the Jamaica International Invitational Meet at the National Stadium because of injury.
It's understood that Powell is nursing an Achilles tendonitis injury which he aggravated at the recent Diamond League meet in Doha, Qatar. Although the 34-year-old is still in training, his management team has decided to pull him from this weekend's meet as a precautionary measure.
Relatively minor. It's just a little point tenderness in his Achilles where it attaches into the heel. There's nothing to be concerned about, but it's something that's not allowing him to go full speed. We need to be very cautious ahead of the national championships as well, so have to be selective. And unfortunately, as much as Asafa wanted to run in front of the home crowd, as always, he knows it's in his best interest not to.
Powell's longtime agent, Paul Doyle, revealed that the sprinter could be back in competitive action in about 2 weeks' time.
We're going to take it day by day. He's getting treatment constantly, so we've flown in some specialists to look at it and that sort of thing. But again, nothing minor. Every day gets a little bit better. So we're not going to rule out any meets in the future, but we're looking at meets even as early as next week or the week after. I think next week is probably very unlikely, but the week after there's some possibilities, and certainly by racers he should be fine.
Meanwhile, although not slated to compete at this weekend's meet, 2012 Olympic finalist and 4-time national champion Leiford Green says Jamaica's men's 400-meter hurdles stock continues to improve and will be in safe hands on Saturday.
I just think for 400 for Jamaica, I just think we just need to stay consistent as an entire group, because we, like I said, we have some good group of guys, young guys, old guys, and upcoming. So it's just a matter of being consistent in the event. I think we can do it. Last year we were finalists, Olympic finalists in Answer White. You know, I mean, for the last couple of years, he's been the best 400 for Jamaica. I mean, Rockstar Keita is very good. Jahil Hyde is a phenomenal talent. We all know what he can do. And a lot more people rising.
The men's 400-meter hurdles on Saturday promises to be competitive, where the 2-time world junior champion and Olympic semi-finalist Jahil Hyde, along with fellow Jamaican Rockstar Keita, battling American Bershawn Jackson and Puerto Rico's Javier Coulson. Live coverage of Saturday's meet will be on TVJ and OneSpotMedia.com, as well as on Hits 92 FM.
And now the answer to our fact or fiction feature. We asked fact or fiction. The area on which the National Heroes Park now stands was once known as the Kingston Race Course. Well, it's a fact. For 101 years, the land was the center for horse racing in Jamaica. In 1818, the Kingston Council purchased the property for £985 and 10 shillings. Formerly called Montgomery Pen, it was later renamed the Kingston Racecourse. However, in 1953, horse racing was transferred to Knutsford Park. The site was officially renamed the National Heroes Park in 1973. And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports and production teams, good afternoon and have a great weekend.